My name is Danielle Holman. I'm a wedding and portrait photographer here in Sedona, Arizona. I started working with Monica. Actually, before I started working with Monica, I kind of work on my business from ground up, meaning it starts with ideas and understanding of what I need. And one of those things that I knew I needed was someone to help me with branding. I had an idea, I know what I do as a photographer and how I take pictures, but I didn't know how to make my brand a little bit more than just the pictures that I take. And some of the things I really wanted to focus on was that the branding was coming across in my website and my Instagram, my Facebook. Basically, they all felt like an external version of me, whatever that brand is. And when Monica talked about working with me, she was talking about how she helps you to brand is basically getting to know who you are as a person and then bringing that to the surface. And that kind of starts with your story as a person and the ins and outs of that. And then she helps you kind of piece together so that your brand is really just an extension of who you are. And that was perfect. Exactly what I wanted, exactly what I needed. And so the way that Monica works really worked for me because she would prompt me with questions and then I would just do the assignment. And they were all written out. She'd always let me know what was coming up next so I could prepare for it. And then I would actually do the assignment. For example, one of them is talking about your life story. So I basically wrote pages and pages trying to summarize my life story. And then she took that information, she learned about me, and then helped see what archetypes have played out in my life and which archetypes really can come out when it comes to my branding. We found out that with my brand, I'm the lover archetype and the creator archetype. So that makes a lot of sense because I tend to photograph weddings and engagements and elopements. And not only do I photograph that, but I also photograph a lot of women and women kind of in empowerment, but also in their beauty. So kind of like a goddess. And then I also tend to work with the person to create whatever their vision is. So the lover and the creator are really what we found out to be a part of who I am and also a part of who I attract. For Monica, I understood the concept of branding. I understood that you pick colors, you pick fonts, you want everything to look like your brand. And on a different note, I knew that I wanted my brand to be an extension of me, but that's just because I've always wanted my brand to come from a heart and soulful place. But using the archetypes really is what put those two things together. So it put all the logistics, like the colors and the fonts and the making a website and making templates and stuff, like knowing what to use, along with like infusing myself in who I am. And so that's why working with archetypes was really valuable for me. It also helped bring to the surface who my ideal client was. To be honest, I had tons of entrepreneurs saying, you have to have an ideal client. Your ideal client has to be a certain age, has to do, watch this Netflix show and do that. And I was like, as far as weddings go, I was like, well, I don't know, like maybe she watches this show or this show. Like I was kind of a bit all over the place. But when I used archetypes, I was able to understand my ideal client the best, meaning my archetype is the lover, and the creator. So I want to work with a bride that specifically wants to feel well taken care of, to feel loved because she's a lover, and to kind of share that excitement about her wedding throughout the entire process, from the beginning email to the end thank you, just to feel very cared for. And not only that, feel heard in a sort of creative matter. For example, I tend to work with people who want to go on Pinterest and pin their ideas and show me their wedding and stuff like that, rather than someone who maybe is like, oh, I just want to hire a photojournalist and they just take photos of the day. It's a little bit more involved. I'm a little bit more involved in sort of a lover sort of way. So that actually helped me understand my ideal client better than any other exercise I've done with other entrepreneurs. Because it's not about what TV show they watch. I mean, a lover might probably watch romantic shows, but at the same time, it's kind of also a feeling that you provide, an experience that you provide, and the type of person who wants that feeling and wants that experience. Yeah, so another thing that we worked on was the hero's journey, and that was really a cool experience. And at first I was kind of, not that I was like, why do we have to do this? Because I kind of understood it, but writing a paper about myself, it was basically writing a paper about myself, like my whole life on paper. That can be actually really challenging to do, but once I did it, and once Monica read my life story and was able to meet with me, there was so much valuable information that I learned about myself that could be applied to my brand. One example is that we learned that my past had a lot of the warrior, and it was very kind of a masculine energy, yet my brand is for weddings and stuff like that. And a lot of the people in my life along the way, like my 3 older sisters and my huge group of girlfriends, they helped me become who I am, which is inside like a tomboy, but also I have this very feminine side. And so, for example, my sisters would dress me up. My girlfriends were all so supportive in kind of building each other up like goddesses. And I realized that's a huge part of who I am, is finding this balance between kind of inner strength and then also being a beautiful goddess. So this is really a part of my brand, is attracting women who want to have that inner strength and inner beauty, as well as bringing out their beauty from the inside out so that they can take beautiful portraits of themselves and have photos that really represent who they feel like they are. So working with Monica was like the best thing for my business. The biggest takeaway that I got from Monica is that I can build my brand from a soulful level so that it's a reflection of who I am. A lot of what became my brand were things that I was already doing, but I didn't know how to apply it to like the outside. So I didn't know how to apply it to a font and the way it looks, and like my website, my documents, and also just creating that feel. Like here's an example, is I worked with Monica one-on-one, and she was actually able to experience what it was like to have me as a photographer. And just like her, I get lots of positive feedback that it's a fabulous experience, that I make the people I photograph feel comfortable and like a goddess, and that I'm bringing their beauty from the inside out. And so working with her, we started to see these trends, not only in my brand, but in my life, the types of people I wanted to work with, the types of people I was attracting, my ideal client. And what we started to realize is that I am capturing people's beauty from the inside out, and how can I basically put that out there ahead of time so that people know, like, yes, you're the photographer that I want to work with. So a part of that is understanding what words to use when I'm on Facebook, Instagram, when I'm writing for my blog, when I'm writing for my website. I have a whole word vault that we figured out together. And not only that, understanding the colors that I'm drawn to, that my audience will be drawn to, and how to incorporate that into what my website looks like, what touches of color I'm using besides the photos I'm picking. We even sat down and we looked at my portfolio, and we went through and said, you know, whether each photo was fitting for my brand. And that was a huge eye-opening experience for me, because then now I can go out there and I'm already a photographer. I can take photos that are particularly for my brand that are attracting the right clients. So honestly, everything that I did with Monica was just going to benefit my business now and from here on out. Yeah. Before Monica and I started working together, I was kind of scattered. I have a lot of ideas. I was taking a lot of photo shoots. I knew that I needed to have a cohesive brand that I could put out there in the world and people would be able to recognize, oh, that's Danielle. And I knew it wanted to be a representation of truly who I am and what I do. And so after this whole process that she makes super easy, she asks you questions, you answer, she gives you feedback, every step of the way, she's there for you. After that process, I basically left the process feeling like I have a strong brand, I know how to apply my brand, and I don't even have any questions for her because I feel really good. She completed everything. If you're starting out your own business, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a spiritual person, if you want your brand to be a representation of who you are from a soulful level, Monica is the perfect person to work with because she brings who you are to the surface, from your hero's journey to what colors you're attracted to what you should wear for style. Like, these are all things that she helps you with. And I think it's definitely worth every penny that you'll pay, because it's actually not just helping you in the now, it's helping you in the long term, because this is stuff that, it's like groundwork that you're working on to set for your business. And then once you set the groundwork, you can fly.